Wolfgang Hamann, President and CEO of Koolhaus Games. We are a Vancouver-based development studio, video game studio, and we've been in business for 6 years. We develop games on virtually every single platform and pretty much any genre, from games on mobile phones to iPhone. We're one of the first iPad developers currently. But we've also developed games on console, Nintendo Wii, handheld DS, downloadable PC, as well as, besides casual games, we've also developed games for everyone, for families, as well as core gamer games that have a little darker edge to them. So the philosophy of Koolhaus basically is diversification. We're very diverse in our approach on platform, on genre, and also in our employees as well. We have employees from all over the world. We have employees from China, we have employees from the US, we have employees from Germany, the UK, even from Iran. And so we're probably one of the most multicultural companies in the video game space, which is really great because then we have a real world view of what people might enjoy in a video game, not just in Canada or the United States or North America. And I think that's a real positive. Well, I started the company with that philosophy. Previously I worked at EA and at Radical. And one of the things I picked up on, I talked to a lot of people who started studios, and after a year or two they were dead. And the typical thing when you start a studio is you do focus on one platform and one genre. And it's kind of like live by the sword and die by the sword. It's difficult enough to start a new company, let alone a video game company, and have success. Most companies end within the first 2 years. I think the statistics are something like 98% of all companies, startups, are dead within the first 2 years. So we've lasted 6 years, so that, we're some wood. And I think the reason we have is because we do have that diversified approach. So just to give an example, recently in this recession that we're just coming out of, the area of the video game industry that has seen some losses is the $40, $50, $60 console games. People just don't have money to spend as much as they might have bought 4 or 5 games a month. Now they buy 1 a month on the console side of things. But we've seen a huge upsurge in games on mobile, on iPhone. We've seen a huge upsurge in games on downloadable PC. And those games are anywhere from 99 cents on an iPhone to, 20 bucks for a downloadable PC. And that's a huge growth area. I've heard some numbers like there's been 50% growth, as much as 100% growth over the last year in those particular spaces. So by being diversified, we don't live and die by doing Nintendo Wii games or DS games. Internally, everybody knows how to do everything. So our software engineers, they've worked on mobile, they've worked on iPhone, they've worked on Unreal 3. We're an Unreal 3 developer. They've worked on console. And our internal training program, when we hire somebody new, they might come in with 10 years of experience on console and have never done any mobile before. And the first thing we do is put them on a mobile project so they understand how that works. And so we can move with the times. We are flexible. We're adaptable. And regardless of what comes in the future, I have a workforce that has the ability to pick up and learn things very quickly. As an example, for our software engineers, we give them a technical test. And we've had very experienced video game programmers apply and fail our technical test. People who have been programmers on name studios and name publishers who have 6, 7, 8 years of experience who weren't able to pass our technical test. So I think the key in future times is that, and my phone is ringing, I'll just shut that off, is that you do need to be very flexible and adaptable as you move forward. It's a two-pronged effort. Yes, ultimately the long-term goal of Koolhaus is to be known for original games. That's a long-term effort. Now some studios come up with something that's very cool right off the bat, but generally speaking, coming up with something that's very cool takes a certain amount of effort. I've heard a story about a Guitar Hero. Apparently that studio had worked on that original IP for something like 8 or 10 or 12 years before it actually got a publisher and got out there in the market. That's a long time to be an overnight success. And generally speaking, for original IP, that's usually, it takes a while. And so we do want to be known for original games. That's the best of all possible worlds, but it doesn't mean that if we get a project from a publisher, for example, we do work for hire, that we don't put our 100% efforts into those. We like to provide not just a service, but a value-added service. We try to, in every single project, whether it's our own or somebody else's, to give it something different and unique, and push it as far as it possibly can go with that time frame and that budget. But you know, again, original projects, that's the lifeblood of the industry, and in today's risk-averse atmosphere, trying to get an original project signed is very difficult, but the industry needs original IP. Without it, eventually people will get bored seeing the same game with the same title over and over again, and we can't survive as an industry without original IP. So, future is to continue on. I mean, part of that equation also is self-publishing. We have a game on iTunes right now, on iPhone and iPod, called IMP, I-M-P, which stands for Interactive Music Player. Surf the Music. It's called IMP Surf the Music. The initial reviews are really super positive. The big thing on iTunes is having a marketing campaign that will set you out from everybody else, because there's about 9,000 games out there. And we are starting a very exciting new marketing campaign in 2 weeks that we think will really move the game up on the charts on iTunes. It is a good game because people who bought it so far really like it. So it just means getting the word out to as many people as possible, and so that they're exposed to the game as well. And this new marketing campaign will do that for sure. So we're very excited about that. So the future for Koolhaus is to continue to do work for hire on a number of different platforms, but also to get more involved in our own self-publishing. The social networking site is about also having games on that site, as well as a number of other things, and I can't say everything at this particular point because it's still in development, but will continue to be a diversified approach. One of the cool things about the games industry is it changes very quickly. And we have to recognize that, and we have to prepare for that, and we have to educate ourselves and train ourselves to be adaptable and flexible. If you can just do one thing and that's all you do, as an example, if you are only a PlayStation 1 developer, every time there's a new round of consoles, there is a certain period of time which is really not very productive. If you recognize and embrace that change is a real important aspect of our industry, and train for it and prepare for it, then that downtime should be at a minimum. And if you have a group of people who really enjoy doing different things, and that's not for everybody. I mean, we do have places for people if they want to be only a physics programmer, hey, that's fine, you know, on console, that's okay. But the overwhelming majority of our team likes working on different platforms, different genres, researching new things, experimenting with new things, pushing the envelope, and you know, is excited about the new things that are coming down the pipe. So that's really what Koolhaus is about in a nutshell.